Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. I hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year everyone. I'm publishing this video on December 31st. I hope everybody has an amazing 2022. And in today's video, we're going to be covering a brand that I've never covered on my channel before. This is Nino Amaddeo, and the fragrance we're going to be talking about today is called Saint Flamand. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin my fragrance review of Saint Flamand by Nino Amaddeo, and I tell you all about this fragrance, what it smells like, if I can compare it to anything else, performance on my skin, so on and so forth, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. It would really mean a lot to me. And also give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. I also want to mention that if you are looking for an authorized retailer for Nino Amaddeo products in the United States, and they do ship worldwide, I trust Max Aroma. I'm going to leave all of their information down below. They have pretty much any fragrance from the brand that you could be looking for, and I actually own a few, including their Neroli offering, including Cuir Superbe, which is another awesome leather-based fragrance, and I'm looking forward to reviewing that one. But the fragrance we're going to be talking about today is actually a mix of spices, fruity notes, florals, tonka bean. And so there's a combination of sweetness in there. You have like this ambery warmth in the base with a touch of vanilla in the amber as well. And it's a complex fragrance, but I'm specifically reviewing this one because this is a perfect fragrance for the colder weather. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell, but let's start things off with the presentation. So of course, right in the opening of this fragrance, you're going to get those spices. And this fragrance is very heavy-handed on the spices, and I absolutely love it because there's this undercurrent of sweetness that is either complementing the spices or giving the spices the impression of being sweet. So I pick up on cinnamon. And of course, I love cinnamon. I think it's a very warming and cozy ingredient. And the way that it's utilized in this fragrance is actually very well done. And so it opens up with this really spicy, slightly cinnamony fragrance, perhaps a touch of clove as well, just to really open the fragrance up, breathe a little bit of life into it. But then you also have that undercurrent of tonka bean and amber. So the amber that's in here, it's a little bit on the balsamic side, but you also have a nice dose of vanilla in here that is directly contributing to the amber accord, and the vanilla just gently adds a little bit of sweetness to sort of complement the sweet spiciness that you're going to get in the opening. I know fruity notes are listed in the opening as well, and whenever I think of fruity notes, I usually think of like Erba Pura by Sospiro or Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi, and I don't really have much of that going on in here, and I think it's because that fruity sweetness is overshadowed by that spicy sweetness. I hope that makes sense. Now in the heart, you do actually have a combination of floral ingredients. I believe you have ylang-ylang, rose, jasmine. It's a very sort of clean, subtle floral aroma that you're going to get from this fragrance, and I particularly like this one because the sweetness and that base heavy ambery quality is what carries the fragrance into that 7th, 8th, 9th hour mark of longevity, which is why I think this is a superb fragrance for the colder weather. Now, of course, like I mentioned earlier, they have a neroli based offering. It is also a little bit on the darker side, and that's when I can see myself wearing in the colder weather, but perhaps in a climate-controlled environment. This is one where you can put on a few sprays, you know it's going to last the whole day, and it's also going to get you that comforting warmth that one would expect from a fragrance in this time of the year. I'm really enjoying Saint Flamand. I think it's a beautiful, warm, cozy, ambery, spicy, slightly sweet vanilla tonka bean and gently floral, fragrance, and I love the direction that it goes in, and I love the complexity of the fragrance while also spotlighting that spiciness with the tonka bean. I think it's a beautiful fragrance, very well done, and it leaves me curious to explore more offerings from Nino Amaddeo. Like I said, I have 4 of them. I know the brand has a lot more than 4. The brand has been around for a few years. This is actually from 2019, but in any case, let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, surely I have smelled many other fragrances with amber and tonka bean and cinnamon and flowers, but the combination of the ingredients done in here is very unique, and so this does portray a certain sense of originality. Can't quite compare it to anything else, and so I do appreciate the uniqueness of this formula. Longevity, you can expect about 8 to 9 hours on your skin. If you spray it on clothing, which you can, it's going to last that much longer. I've gotten really good performance from this one. Projection on this one is also very good. You can expect it to radiate off your skin beyond an arm's length for about the first hour and a half of application. It didn't actually start to sit within an elbow's length until about that 5 to 6 hour mark. It became a skin scent at the 8 hour mark, and then past that 9 hour mark, you really can't smell it anymore. But the performance on this one is very good. Versatility, I think it's perfect for the colder weather, perfectly unisex. The complexity and sophistication of the blend would appeal to somebody who's a little bit older. The sweetness, especially the one coming from the vanilla and the amber and the tonka bean, is going to appeal to somebody who's a little bit younger. And again, I think this one can be worn casually, but formally as well. I would probably say 70% formal, 30% casual. Presentation on this one is also pretty cool, and of course, part of the presentation is the name of the fragrance, S'enflamme, which means ignite, which I think is a pretty cool name and concept for this fragrance. So my final verdict on this fragrance, if you are looking for a fiery, spicy, slightly sweet, and gently floraled perfume, S'enflamme by Nino Amaddeo is a perfect offering for the colder weather. If you live in a colder climate, I think you're going to get a lot of wear and a lot of use out of this fragrance. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you took something of value from my review of S'enflamme by Nino Amaddeo. If you did, please do show your support by subscribing to the channel. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. This way, whenever I do put out these reviews, they will get delivered straight to your feed. You never have to worry about missing any of my future uploads. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you took something of value from today's video. Thanks again for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you soon. Bye.